Good night, Belizeans at home and abroad. My name is Leonard Brackett. I'll be your temporary chairman for tonight. Could you just hold for a second? I see another one of our panelists in the background. I'd like to bring him on. Let me see. I think it's good night, Mr. Wade.
Good night, sir. Good night.
I just,
Good
I
night.
just, I just put the live button just now, and
Yes,
then I
sir.
was about to introduce the program, and I saw you in the background, so I decided to beg pardon
Yes, sir.
and just
Yes,
uh,
sir.
uh, okay. Can I just give you a chance to self-identify, sir?
Ready when you are there, my brother. Go
Yes,
ahead.
yes, sir. Please
Oh,
self-identify.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good night to my Belizean people, both at home and abroad, and welcome to our 283rd edition of our Belizean Affairs show. And
Amen.
first Monday night show for 2026. Pleasure to be in your company, sir. Back to you.
The pleasure is mine too, Mr. Wade. Thank you for gracing us with your presence tonight. Um, I don't see our chairman for tonight in the background yet, so we'll just proceed to introduce the show as usual. No? Good night, Belizeans at home and abroad. As I indicated earlier, my name is Leonard Brackett. I'll be your temporary chairman until the chairman shows up. And so we'll just proceed with our show based on the standard protocols that we have established. That is to say, before we get into the formal part of the show and the issues of the night, we always offer a short word of prayer and then we do a little short biblical reading. Uh, would you be in a position to help us with the biblical reading for tonight, Mr. Um,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So then, in the meantime, I'll just bow my head. I'll just bow my head and say the short prayer. Divine loving Father, once again we come before thy presence, asking that thou would accept our humble expression of gratitude and thankfulness today for having given us the privilege of life, first and foremost, and secondly, for having granted us the privilege to have survived such terrible year of 2025. And yet, with the privilege that thou hast granted us to enter into 2026, we're still experiencing some major travails, travesties, and problems, both at home and abroad. We pray that thou mayest continue to bless our country of Belize, its people and leadership, that thou would continue to bless the rest of humanity, wherever they are, especially those who are in war zones and are being hurt and some losing their limbs and lives, sometimes for no justifiable reason. We pray that thou mayest also bless those who are in earthquake areas and tornadoes and snowstorms and flooding and all manner of pestilence on the face of this earth. Please bless us so that whatever we have to say and do tonight may it accrue to not only the well-being of our country and people, but also to thy divine uh, purposes. For we ask these mercies in Jesus' name. Amen. I yield back, Mr. Wade.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'll do a reading, Leonard, from
Yes, sir.
Timothy, 1 Timothy 6, 1 to 10. And it reads, let all who are under a yoke of slaves regard their own masters as worthy of all honor,
Amen.
so that the name of God and the teaching may not be reviled.
Amen.
Those who have believing masters must not be disrespectful, and on the grounds that they are brothers. Rather, they must serve all and better, since those who benefit by their good service are believers and beloved. Teach and urge these things. If anyone teaches a different doctrine and does not agree with the sound words of our Lord Jesus Christ and the teaching that accords with godliness, he is puffed up with conceit
Amen.
and understands nothing. He has an unhealthy craving for controversy and for quarrels about words, which produce envy, dissension, slanders, evil suspicions, and constant friction among people who are depraved in mind and depraved in the truth.
Amen.
Imagine that godliness is a means of gain. Now, there is great gain in godliness with
Amen.
contentment, for we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruins and destruction. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with much fangs. That's my reading. Leonard from
Uh,
Timothy,
Thank you very much,
1
Mr. Red.
Timothy. Back to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Uh, Thank you very much. I see our chairman is somewhere in the background,
Yes, sir.
working on something. So, um, I don't think I'll venture into my supplemental. I'll just, at this moment, since he's present, I'll just yield. I yield to you, Mr. Chairman. Uh, could you go ahead and self-identify, sir? And
Good night, gentlemen.
good night,
Happy
sir.
New
Good
Year.
night,
It's
sir.
good
Good
New
night.
to
Year.
be. It's good to be on the virtual platform with you guys. A lot has happened in the past year, 2025, and the beginning of this new year. There's a whole lot more going on in the world. Needless to say that life still has to go on, and people still has to be held accountable for their actions. I
Amen.
want to say good night to you, gentlemen, and good night to you, the people at home and abroad. Welcome you to this the 383rd edition of Belizean Affairs. Tonight, gentlemen, I want to start this program with something that is very important because I want to point out the negligence and the fault of our present government to not do what is required by our constitution for the people of the real. And I want to go to the first year.
What happened, really going on among the individuals, so people have to stop this stigma about this incident because nobody happy about the incident happen.
Okay.
You know, and people should realize not everybody, state of mind when it comes to themselves. So best to just leave nature to the coast and make we see what's best and we put down about it. Not like something where a brag and boast that somebody will healthy, they have a mental issue over 8 years. So come on, the government shouldn't have these type of individuals on the street like that to sure have a better security for the type of people there.
Okay.
I'm not concerned about not the well think about people in your country. Because in this way we have to stop being on stigmatized and leave people like that out there with going cause problems.
When you all first saw the video, did you all know that that was he? Did you all recognize
No.
him?
First of all, he's not the type of person. Because if you are seeing something right now, you can't answer and shake your shoulder.
Okay.
No matter what you're asking, for him actually I move his shoulder. So that's just for people who know aware and know the who. And I think please, whatever on the mentality, thinking, slow on the roll and slow on the speed. Because everybody out there got loved one. And none of we like to see we love one in a certain condition. But just that what you can do is think it's in a situation. You only could work in and try to help you out. And also for all this called commercial and this stagman thing, I know I know approval about it, and I feel sometimes very disregard when I hear people that talk negative, because if you don't know somebody.
Gentlemen and people at home and abroad, we are back to square one. We have had incidents where the Belize Police Department has ended up killing one of these mental patients. We had another incident down south, and there are many more. Why are we still fighting with this stigma when we know what should be done? It will not be the first time, and it will not be the last time that here on Belizean Affairs we have called them out to deal with these people who cannot help themselves or defend themselves. Because when you have mental patients that are aggressive, people will hurt them. Mr. Wade, I go to you first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, it's a pleasure to sit in your company along with Leonard on this uh, 383rd edition of our Belizean Affairs show. We have come a long way, and it's a pleasure to sit in your company in 2026. Once more, the Lord has driven us together, um, calling out issues like these, issues like what you just showed. Mr. Chairman and Leonard, we have spoken on these kinds of incidents with uh, these patients. For me, they are patients, but you mentioned some of them, and it's not just right now. We have been calling out on the deplorable healthcare department, healthcare facilities, deplorable healthcare officials, deplorable, who has no sense in the actual needs of the department they're so um, administrating, right? I could recall they had an electrician in the UDP, partially a well-known electrician from Corozal. He was minister of one surname Marin. He was minister of health. No a damn thing about what's required to be a health minister. When he get that post, he didn't know what he should do and shouldn't do. And like now, Presently in the UDP now, we have Mr. Bernard as Minister of uh, Health. Um, they talk a good script. They talk a venom. He and his minions. They talk a good script that they read that they know they need to do. But do they follow? Do they do the right thing with the taxpayers' money and all the grants and all the? Although these people know what to do, they fail and continue to fail and fail and fail. But in the end, who suffers? You hear the gentleman there, you know, um, for the world again to know that we do not have a facility that will house these types of patients. Do not. They are stigmatized. They're looked on as nobody. They have been run over by vehicle and picked up and dumped in some cane roads or some farm roads and left to rot until later on their bodies are found and what comes out of it. I'm talking truth, right? That's what happened to these patients here in Belize. And sadly, these officials, they have no damn shame at all. No shame whatsoever. They go about like business as usual, right? But it's so sad to see that these kinds of incidents keeps happening. 2026, still happening. And yet you hear they come on the news and say, yeah, well, we will teach the policeman to deal better with these kinds of people so we don't have to shoot them. We will hold the policeman in a little room and teach them how to deal with these people, right? So they don't have to be slaughtered, right? Mr. Chairman, like I say, I will not rumble on these kinds of situation because we keep talking about it, especially a item that is so dear to me in this healthcare, because I've seen it, I've lived it. I have been amongst people that's been deprived, Mr. Chairman and Leonard and my people, right? And yet they say that they have everything under control, the best healthcare. You go to the pharmacies in the hospitals, the medications are there for these kinds of patients, and they are somewhere that they can go and get the treatment they so desire and need, which in fact, darn lies. Just like the lies that comes out of Johnny Briseño's mouth to every time. And that chips off on his ministers and his cabinets. They all have a bunch of lies to tell the Belizean people. And so sadly, Mr. Chairman, a lot of us Belizean believe these people. A lot of us believe them. So I say, like that gentleman that speaks out just now, when they come around again and beg you to vote for them, because this time they will do better, I hope you know what to tell them. Say no more. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. I go to you, Mr. Brackett.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and very lucid commentary, Mr. Wade. I'll try and follow it up and try and do justice. So, um, as you alluded to, Mr. Wade, there should be a facility, as you stated in your own words, where these individuals can be placed, monitored, helped with medical assistance, given food, clothes, and shelter. It is not too long ago that we had what we used to call back in Belize the crazy house. Right there where they just built a massive multi-level complex. when you go into the football field to the MCC, on your left hand side, same side that the MCC grounds is on. I think the street, there's one street there. Let's see, is it? No, 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 no. It's between Wilson Street and another street nearby there. I don't remember exactly what's the name of the other street, right, adjacent to the football field itself. But that location used to be where they used to have what they call crazy house. And people who were deemed to be insane and or not capable of living among the rest of the society, um, acting in the right way, in a civil way, instead of taking them to jail, they used to take them to that location and they used to be catered for. Now, I can tell you, I used to go around that place there and I can tell you that the services weren't all that hot or great, but at least there was some service, some attention, some care, by the government and the people of Belize on behalf of these indigent individuals. I don't see that happening anymore. As a matter of fact, we have up the road, they have that place there for young people, right? I think it's some
Hostel.
30 odd miles or whatever, But then the alternative then is to put them in prison. What's the purpose of taking these people and putting them in prison? Because the prison is making money off of them. The more people go to prison, the more money the prison budget needs in order to house these people, care for them while they are in prison, clothe them while they are in prison, and provide support for them for the years that they're in days, weeks, months, or years that they're in prison. And I'd like to piggyback a little bit more on previous commentaries that were made. That is to say, the government can't find money to help these people, apparently, but they could find money to give to the prison complex. Because every time they pick up these black young men in the society and run them into the prison environment, under bogus charges at that, and then turn around and let them loose after 30 days because they say, well, they grab them and take them to go. They're not grabbing the person that commits the crime. They're just grabbing everybody at random that they deem needs to be taken off the street. Some of these individuals are people who are just trying to get their lives together. They have children, they have wives, they have or husbands, or they have whatever. And they're marginal. They are barely trying to make a living. So when you go and grab them up and carry them up to Colby, to the prison, you still have to feed them. You still have to take care of them. You got to do a lot of stuff that it increases the budget, like I said. And when those people come out of there, they have a police record. They can't find a job that easily, as if jobs are available anyhow. And these are the ills of the society, of malmanagement or bad government. Because the government is not doing its job the way it is supposed to be done. But when you make those kind of commentary, they say, oh, you're slandering the government, or you're talking bad about the government. Oh, but the government don't have money. They don't have money for this, they don't have money for that. But they have money to give hundreds of millions of dollars to Mr. Ashcroft at every turn at the treasury money. Right now, they're looking to give him to give out another couple $100 million with this craziness that they're trying to perpetrate against us with the telephone company issue. There is money. If they don't steal the money will be there to do the services on behalf of the people of the country. Are you back, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman, and quickly, just for public consumption, what is going to happen to this young man? He's drugged off. They're going to beat the hell out of him, right? Take him, repetitious cycle, take him in front of a judge, and the judge is going to send his butt to prison, right? And he's going to be deprived of his rights, Mr. Chairman, right? And it's a revolving door, right? seems no one want to fix the problem. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, gentlemen. It goes beyond that. These mental patients has a constitutional right and a constitution to defend them. The government cannot say it does not have money because these are called essential services. The government do not have money to buy ambulance. A young lady passed because she did not have $20 to pay the ambulance. Government do not have money to buy fire truck, essential service. But the government of this country can classify a BPO as essential service. Make
Crazy.
it make sense. No, I want to say this. Taxpayers' money is there for the government to make adequate facilities for these people and to get the correct medical staff to help them because they are a threat to who? Society, who
Exactly.
are the Belizean people paying tax. And that is why Belizean pay taxes. But they don't want to do the right thing. Because I could say this. Look how easily they want to raise the prices and the vital statistics because they are going digital. When the people is not even supposed to pay double and no birth certificate or marriage certificate. The taxpayers' money again should be there if they want to do this stuff. But our government is so busy giving away concessions and trying to take so much from the people of this country that poverty cannot go away. And that is what is happening with our mental patients. And not only our mental patients, if I may point it out, our hospital system that is still not adequate to service the people of this country. As you can see, if you don't pay, you can't get service. If you have a bill and you have a loved one died and have a bill, if you don't pay off the balance, you can't get the death certificate. What the heck is that?
In order to
No
get the,
hospitals,
sorry.
no services that are essential for the Belizean people. Go ahead, Mr. Brackett.
Sorry about uh, jumping in just now, Mr. Chairman, without first requesting your permission, but thank you for the opportunity. Not only are they not providing the services adequately enough, even when you pay for it, the point is that the service is supposed to be paid by the government taxes. They shouldn't be using it as another means of hustling extra money out of the public, especially with a society of 68% poverty. Some people just don't have it. As a matter of fact, going back to the original point of the mental patients, then that are allowed to roam around the cities and the rest of the country, some of those people are not necessarily just having a mental problem per se and then commit an assault on somebody like we have seen on the tape. There are a lot of other people who have mental problems, but they are not hostile or aggressive. But they still need this public support. Some of these people, for example, you see some of them are homeless. They don't have where to go and sleep. They sleep on the streets. They're also in dire straits. They're not all out there committing crimes or hitting people and creating mayhem. but they need food. They need somewhere to shelter at night. I remember they used to have another place there on, I think it was on, not Bishop Street. Bishop Street. No, Bishop Street is the next one. The one before Bishop Street. Um, where there was another. I think it was a poorhouse that was there too. Transient location.
There was a place
Church,
that
church
homeless
on Church Street.
people can go,
Uh-huh.
and West Canal, which was known as
That's another
Bam's
one.
Great House.
Uh-huh. That's another one.
But the
No,
Salvation Army also housed some of these people.
but the
But
government is leaving these people and the public to fend for themselves for services that are supposed to be part of government services. And they take the money and they hustle the extra money for them to pay out contracts, big time contracts, squander the money, which is my peeve. That's what I'm annoyed about. I'm not saying that the government um, have enough money to do all the things that they're doing. They need to stop doing some of the things that they're currently doing and do the things
Mr.
that they need to be
Brackett,
doing. Go ahead, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back,
we
sir.
are not going to say what the government have or don't have. Essential service is a priority, and these commander essential service, fire truck, ambulance, hospital, housing for mental people. They are essential services, and that is first priority. But the government is not making that their priority. Gentlemen, I want to go to
Mr.
this
Chairman,
other case.
Mr. Chairman, before you leave that point, can I just read something quickly here? I think it's paragraph. Oh, no. Okay, it's all right. I'm gonna have to. I'm close to it, but I'm gonna have to take more time, and I don't want to disturb the show. Let's let me yield back, sir.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Gentlemen and people at home and abroad, we're heading into the first week of 2026, and we are still bringing with us the past when it comes to the police department. And again, I want to show this here because there is a misconception between the citizen of Belize and the police department. And tonight we need to set the record straight so people can understand what the difference is. Let's go to the case.
I got some ratina underneath the cupboard if anybody wants some. Auntie, you want to carry some for your wife or selling?
Excuse me, please.
Men and people at home and abroad, here we have the police department GI3 doing a warrantless search based on intelligence in a house where a female and her daughters live. As was said by the female, when they came to the door, she asked them for a warrant, and they told her that they did not have time for that. They are doing the search based on intelligence. Mr. Wade, I want to hear your input first. You was a police officer. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, I could have see his answer that he just witnessed he was chasing someone and that person run into that room. Then he could say, well, like, I don't need one warrant for come and search your house, because I just see this criminal running at your room. So they try to find that criminal.
Hot pursuit.
Hot pursuit, right? But Mr. Chairman and Leonard, don't we have laws in this country? You know, the things that are happening now, I makes me think that this is a lawless country. Now, Belize is a lawless country. Policeman does not abide by the laws of this country, and they are above the law, and there are certain society in this country that can do no wrong. They kill and maim and harm and get away with it, right? You know, uh, the actions of the police continuously, repetitiously, and publicly. And what has been done? 2026 still happening. We see these things happen over and over. We see police ministers, their behavior and the verbal that comes out of their mouth, right? So a minister that's supposed to be saying the right things and doing the right things and holding lawbreakers accountable, holding their administration that they are in charge of accountable to do the right thing by citizenry, people that vote for them, people that pays taxes. But all these things, Mr. Chairman, doesn't seem to matter anymore, right? The laws in Belize now, it's like you don't know what they will do to you next, what they will come up with next, what they will do to you next. And then after they do all these things to you, they left you in a hole. You got to go and get a good attorney to fight them. And if you don't got that money to get a good attorney to fight their injustice and the things that they have done wrong to you, they end up winning. They end up winning because you can't take them to court. You can't fight for your rights. That is what happened in this country. And the moment you start to fight for your rights, you're a bad person, and they do all kinds of things to you, right? They even interfere with the justice system, with the magistrate, with the judge,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what these people do. So, Mr. Chairman, for me, I just hope and pray that one day, all these evildoers that does injustice to people, to human beings, abuse them, deprive them of their basic human rights. I just hope that one day that these people be held accountable.
Karma.
That's all I got to say on that, Mr. Chairman, because I see some outright abuse. Outright.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. I go to you, Mr. Brackett.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I found the stuff that I wanted to read, and I think it's still contextual to what we're currently discussing. So, if you allow me, I'll just like to read a part of it. And it is basically not my words, but the words from the Constitution of Belize. That is to say, the preamble of Belize, section B. I'm not going to read the whole thing in the interest of the timeliness of the show, but part of it is very germane to what we're discussing. We, the people of Belize, let me put on my second glasses just to double up, make sure that I'm reading correctly. I don't want to misread or say what is not really there. So just be patient with me. Okay. We, the people of Belize, respect the principles of social justice and therefore believe that the operations of the economic system, that is, how the government and the economy of the country is managed, must result in the material resources of the community being so distributed as to subserve the common good. When it speaks about the resources of the community, it's talking about the assets of the country, the money that the government gets in taxes, the money in the treasury, money that we borrow, money that we get from all sources. That is, that everything that comes in or comes under the aegis or guidance of the government as the caretakers of our government on our behalf, supposed to subsist or help in the subsistence of all of us, not just the privileged few who are competent and capable and have a job and can hold on a job. But it says, I'll read it again for emphasis. We believe, we, the people of Belize, respect the principle of social justice and therefore believe that the operations of the economic system must result in the material resources of the community, that is the country, being so distributed as to subserve the common good, that there should be adequate means of livelihood for all, that labor should not be exploited or forced by economic necessity to operate in inhumane conditions, but that there should be opportunity for advancement on the basis of recognition of merits, ability, and integrity, that equal protection should be given to children regardless of their social status, and that just systems should be ensured to provide for education and health on the basis of equality. So there it goes. We are talking about it. It's right there in the Constitution, staring us in the face as a mandate to the government. And yet we have to be talking about it like if the government doesn't know it's there and could care less whether it is there or not. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Brackett. I want to say this to
Okay,
you,
sir.
people at home and abroad, and I want to be specific on the law. For a warrantless search to be lawful, officers must have reasonable grounds, not vague intelligence. They must believe that the delay would defeat the purpose of the search. And like Mr. Wade said, they had to see somebody running there, or they had to believe there's gun and ammunition in there, and they would discard them. So, with that said, that is the only way there's an exception to the rule too. Because if those reasons are not met, it does not pass the test for a warrantless search. And in this case, the search lasted 10 minutes, so it failed the test. They found nothing. It was based on intelligence, so they had no reasonable ground to even proceed with the search.
Mr.
Go ahead,
Chairman,
Mr. Brackett.
constitutional wise, thank you very much, sir. Constitutional wise, an officer in hot pursuit of a criminal or in the effort of trying to deter a criminal act from being committed is permitted, it's permissible for an officer in hot pursuit to run into somebody's house to try and capture somebody that has gotten in there, as Mr. Wade has stated before, and as should be the case. But these guys, they used a bogus malpractice of theirs under the color of law to say that they had intelligence. Well, if they had intelligence, take the damn intelligence to the judge and get a writ. That is how it's supposed to operate. You can't declare that arbitrary and capriciously. You have intelligence and you're not going to follow the law, and on the basis of your intelligence, you want to go and commit a crime. And make it worse is that after committing the crime, they are not held accountable, nor do they find any evidence for their initial breach of somebody's constitutional rights, or the breach of their own departmental protocols and procedures. Because I'm definitely sure, as Mr. Wade can state, no officer is encouraged by any department, procedures, protocols, or practices to commit crimes under the color of law. Most of the people that you see behave like that, they do so because they do it over and over with impunity, without no superior officer grabbing them and bringing them to account. So they get away with it and they keep doing it, and then they try to cover themselves. But I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Brackett, that is correct. The police department comes with this search, and they keep using the false pretense of searching for gun and ammunition or drugs.
Come with your warrant.
And you know what? They are using it under false pretense because the people does not know the law. In some cases, they say it's a new law that gives them the right to do the search,
They conflate.
which is totally illegal and unconstitutional.
And some
The
of them
law
know it, Mr.
gives
Chairman.
them a leeway, but they cannot do that unless they are 100% sure. That means facing somebody, a life is in danger that they must have.
Mhm.
Without that, they must get a warrant to enter your premises.
That is the purpose
I
for
would
getting a warrant,
hope,
Mr. Chairman, because on the basis of the warrant, they can claim that they had intelligence while they go to the judge to ask for the warrant. But they can't come and harass
regardless,
people.
Mr. Brackett, a warrant will specify what the search is for.
Exactly, that's my point. They have no right and authority to go and harass people just because they are the authority or they are the law. They are the law. They, in the first place, it shouldn't be stated as such that they are the law. They're supposed to be upholding the law. They want to be a law unto themselves, that whatever they do should be accepted, like what they were trying to do with the 13th Amendment, to say that whatever they do in the future will be exculpated from now. How ludicrous is that? I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, gentlemen and people at home and abroad.
Andrew.
Most everyone over the world knows what's happening in Venezuela. Some people want to speak about it. Some people might not want to speak about it. But tonight, I want to show you, the people at home and abroad, the power of narrative and how that same narrative is being used by our government against the people who does not understand really and truly what is happening. And this has been done the world over. And until you read about it and you look and see, you will always be caught up in there because they push the same narrative. Let's listen to this here.
Why does the United States need to take over the Venezuelan oil industry?
Well, we don't need to. First of all, let me go back up. We don't need Venezuela's oil. We have plenty of oil in the United States. What we're not going to allow is for the oil industry in Venezuela to be controlled by adversaries of the United States. You have to understand, why does China need their oil? Why does Russia need their oil? Why does Iran need their oil? They're not even in this continent. This is the Western Hemisphere. This is where we live. And we're not going to allow the Western Hemisphere to be a base of operation for adversaries, competitors, and rivals of the United States.
Now, people at home and abroad, you just heard that, but you haven't recognized what is wrong with that speech. What is wrong with that speech? If you look what is happening in the world, from Africa to the Middle East to Latin and South America, in history, there's never one time when a black man was in power that wanted to invade any other country. And I'm saying this to say to you, it's never about democracy. It is a narrative put out there under false pretense, which leads to neo-colonialism. We say slavery is gone, but it is never gone if you listen to how these people speak. They speak with authority and they stick to their narrative to say one world order and we run the world. Now, before I go to you guys, I want to go to a second case to clarify, and we want to go through this quickly because I want to show you how it is done also in Belize against the people. Let's hear the next case.
Look, I'm sure I'm going to get a whole bunch of criticism on this Venezuela thing, but this deal that he did is a bad fucking move that we didn't have to do. It's going to fuck up a lot of things on our world map, and this chess game is going to get real tricky. You've already heard Russia and China saber rattling. That is not what we need. That is not how you put the United States first. And now he wants to manage this third world country. He can't even manage this one. Our economy sucks. We are in peril because of every economic policy that this man has put in place. And now we're in this situation and we've got to do something. And we're stuck. This man is a dangerous man. And Congress needs to wake up. And they need to remove him from power. Because he is a dangerous, dangerous man.
Now, people at home and abroad and gentlemen, the narrative is one that has been played over and over all around the world. I will tell you one. Israel has the right to defend itself, come what may, as any means necessary, regardless of the amount of lives that has been killed. That's a narrative. Like this narrative, you heard it. China have their oil, Iran have their oil, and all the rest have their oil. So the oil in Venezuela belongs to the United States. Now imagine, and this is narrative that is happening in every country. The people with the money push these narratives, and they don't ever speak about themselves. Who is holding them accountable for all the genocide that they have done, for all the places that they have been under the democracy, using the word democracy to liberate people, to control their minerals and their oil. it should be a lesson learned because they will take it further. I believe they will say other people are involved in the Caribbean and they will go after them and destabilize the whole Caribbean. It is not nothing new. Anybody wants to know the facts needs to read up on the Monroe Doctrine. That
Mr. Chairman,
is what is happening. Go ahead, sir.
before you switch over, I want to pose a question and make a short little comment. The question is, when did Venezuela become more of a drug peddling country than its neighbor Colombia? First question. When did Venezuela become that much more important than Colombia in terms of the drug trade that's feeding America? The next question. How come, if this issue was all about the drug and the poisoning of America, didn't we invade China, from which most of the fentanyl that is coming into this country and is being let in by people in this very same country, working on behalf of the cartel people throughout the rest of the world? Because drug is not being peddled just from the Southern cartel. It's being peddled all over the world under different cartels. Okay. Just a minute, Mr. Chairman. I just want to close it up, sir. I know to take over the whole show. I just want to close it up. Why wasn't Brazil, which is the B in the first letter of BRICS, why wasn't Brazil invaded? Since BRICS is the one that's causing America's heartburn in terms of the economic and development and joining up with China and India and Russia and South Africa and all the other countries. Why didn't they invade Brazil? Are we to presume that that's the next one to come? Or that maybe it's going to be Colombia? Or maybe it's going to be, like, they're taking them one at a time. Or maybe it's going to be Mexico? Because there was a time when America had declared its independence and it had 13 colonies. Those 13 colonies were just part of the current United States of America. Because you also have part of the previous United States of Mexico that was incorporated into the United States of America. And I'm saying the rest and whole of Latin America as the backyard of the US, they are now contemplating taking Canada into the states as being its 51st state. They didn't want Puerto Rico. You know how long the Puerto Ricans have been asking to be declared a state of America? But I yield back, Mr. Chairman, because what I'm doing is just asking
Mr. Brackett,
for people to
it's not about drugs. It's about this country doing business with other powerful countries, and the US dollar is being destabilized. This country is starting to sell their products in different monetary forms. And that is the issue when they speak about threatening their interests. The US government has used its dollar to sanction countries like Venezuela. That is why they are in poverty. They have done it in Iran. They overthrow a democratic government. I mean, the footprint is all over the place. So we don't have to say that. But I'm saying this to
Mr.
say,
Chairman,
sir,
Mr. Chairman, would you permit me to be a bit say KG. I use the word KG just because I can't come up with another one quickly and the time they run. Didn't the Pope say that North America would command the Spaniards or Spanish kingdom, and that South America would command the Portuguese kingdom? The present America, under the Monroe Doctrine, is declaring that anything that has to do with the New World comes under their domain. They can decide who manages each and every one of these countries. There's no such thing as an independent country. They're all in the backyard of the America, and therefore America have the right
Exactly
to
what I'm
exercise
speaking
what they're
about,
trying to
sir.
do, whether it's lawful, legal, constitutional, or not. They could care less. There's a new
Exactly what
papal bull.
and you know what is so
Bull crap.
shameful? What
Take
is
us
so
all to the grave.
shameful is
Bunch of
he's
idiots.
speaking about what the drugs do to Americans and all that. But they don't want to speak about what the bombs did to all the people in Palestine. They don't want to do that. But to stick to the narrative, I want to show you, the people at home and abroad, how narrative works. This is why I brought up that topic. Let me go to the tape. I will show you. Listen to it.
Are you operating on the clear conclusion that obviously a crime was committed in plain view on that night?
Obviously, a crime has been committed. I don't believe there is any doubt in relation to whether or not a crime has been committed. A Belizean citizen was in Belize. He is now in a Guatemalan prison. It was not his intention to go to that Guatemalan prison, and he has spoken, and he has said what happened to him. A crime has been committed. What we need to confirm beyond a reasonable doubt is who was involved in that crime. Not just the actors, as in the ones who detained him against his will, but why they did do it. Where did the instruction come from, or how did the plan originate to do it? This is what we have to look at.
But
Now, people at home and abroad, you heard what the DPP lady have said. But what is the narrative in this abduction? You know what is the narrative? Remember, Israel has the right to defend itself. You know what the narrative is on this abduction? Have you seen the tape? No, I haven't seen it. Have you seen the tape? No, I haven't seen it. Not one of the Belizean ministers have ever seen the tape with the abduction of Joseph Ryan Goodman.
But there's no tape, Mr. Chairman. Our lying eyes are misinforming us.
Mr. Brackett,
Oh, man.
did I just show a tape just now with a man
No,
getting
sir.
beat
No,
up
sir.
and
No,
being
sir.
kidnapped?
I'm blind. I didn't see
So
it.
you see
I
what the
can't hear.
narrative
I
is?
can't see. I can't hear. You know? That's why
Exactly
I can't
what
know.
I am saying.
Bunch of
Exactly
rascals,
what
man.
I'm saying. They keep pushing the same narrative every time you ask them. No, I haven't seen it here. We will leave that to the investigation. I haven't seen it here. That is the narrative that has been played on the heads of Belizean people. And it goes on and on and on. I will play another one to show you. And I
Before,
want you to
Mr.
listen
Chairman,
clearly.
before you play another one, can I get another list?
Hold on a second, Mr. Brackett.
Okay.
Because I want the people at home and abroad
Oh,
to
man.
see what narrative does. I'm comparing it to what is happening abroad. Listen to it carefully.
We've delivered up to almost 200 homes in the last fiscal year. We're looking to deliver another 50 homes in Boom come February. Please don't hold me to dates because quality needs to be assured. So around February, we're looking to deliver another 50 homes in Boom, and we will continue to do the homes. We are looking to start new homes right here in January. I am sorry, but unlike everybody else that is hung up on numbers, I'm hung up on quality and service to our people. So I rather deliver 100 high standard, high quality homes than give you 1,000 homes that are of no quality and or limited quality. I don't do numbers that way.
Narrative. The present government won their election and a narrative that says they will build 10,000 homes for the people of Belize. They are in the second term. You heard what the lady said? Not even 1,000 homes have been built. Narrative again. And when you ask them about it, you see what happens. You see what happens. Mr. Weir, I go to you first.
Thank you. I laugh for that one, Mr. Chairman. Leonard, we gotta laugh, right? It's just that you listen to Mr. Rubio, right? Listen to that guy and listen to this lady. And it's just one or two of the bunch. You talk about narrative, and this lady does not do numbers, and Mr. Rubio does not like that oil that does not belongs to him nor belongs to the U.S. Is being distributed around the world to other people that they are not in aligned with, and so they are mad about that. And you listen to all of them, it's gonna be like you say the same narrative, and you play that Budna tape and you listen to the DPP, and yes, she utter a good line because that is her job description. That's whatever she's that's the job of the DPP. All of the above that she mentioned, but so and remember what I've said about, you see what they did with Mr. Swazo. You see the hell of a loo that they went to get him that post. They brought him out of retirement, and I'm not going to say much on that because, and then he was over the edge, but they, in one day in the house, they dropped that age down to suit him because that's the man they wanted. Good PUP, good liquor, and I'm not going to specify what when I mean. When I go take the word liquor any kind of way when I want to take it. But because he drop off of that narrative there, Mr. Chairman, he slip up on that narrative. And you see the end of him. So I say this to say that Miss Vidal, be careful. Don't slip off the narrative, right? Don't do that because
she already did, Mr. Chair.
You will find yourself in the same shoe that Mr. Swazo. I XPDF too, like my, I know the right. So I don't know the man that very, 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 very good, but somebody I know. Whether he will continue to be a good loyal PUP after this. Whether they shove a little something under the table for him not to, or to shut up. I don't know. But just to show you what happened to people who does not stick to the narrative, Mr. Chairman. And as for the action of Mr. Maduro and what happened to him and all that, for me, I say if there is evidence and they could produce certain evidence that warrant his extradition, so be it. Right? That's what I got to say on that.
There's a thing called international law, Mr.
You have, yes, two scenarios. One says for the oil, one says for drugs and ammunition and all the other devilish things that they come with. Right? So the man went to court today. Let's see what the judge told him or what he told the judge, and let's see what is presented as evidence. And let's see if the president, Donald Trump, has any, if he acted lawfully then, if he has that power to have done what he did. So, and if he doesn't have that power to do what he, well, arrest his ass. Right? That's what I see on that. Because then he did something that he weren't supposed to do. So, otherwise from that, and I will interject a little something, I hope that that message is sent across in the man says the Western Hemisphere. So we here in the Western Hemisphere. I don't know what hemisphere he's in. But what I'm saying is that I hope that the leaders and the politicians in the Western Hemisphere that deals with drugs and ammunition be very careful. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade, we are speaking about drugs. Who is going to hold the U.S. accountable for the COVID-19 vaccine? I would like to know.
Question. That's a good
Mr.
question.
Chairman, you can only hold somebody accountable if you have the powers to be able to do so. If you don't have the powers to do so, you know.
And the evidence along with the power.
Exactly why
evidence are always manufacturable.
Well,
Mr.
whatever they could
Brackett,
manufacture and produce.
that's exactly why I asked the question. Because we are living in a time of do as I say and not as I do. So we know who is carrying the big stick. I go to you, Mr. Brackett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I need to take one deep breath before I open up.
Leonard, there's a lot happening, you know. There's a lot going on, okay? A lot going on. Okay.
Anyhow. Okay, let me do it like this. There was a question posed earlier about Mr. Rubio. His basic interest is in how to make what they experimented with Venezuela becomes more effective to the point of taking over Cuba. Anybody remember the Marelitos? Anybody remember the Bay of Pigs? You know, anybody remember how close we came to nuclear war under Nikita Khrushchev? Okay. The presumption now is that America's military is so vast and mighty that they can spread it all over the world and subjugate just about anybody or any other country at their will. I beg to differ. Those aren't the same days now as they were before. And if you take history as a whole, history is littered with the dust of multiple empires of the past. We had, for example, I'm not going to go too far. No need to go too far. The British Empire on which the sun never set, like they used to say. They had almost the whole world under their control, directly as well as indirectly. Where are they today? So empires come and go. The problem is the mayhem they left behind. And I'll just about say, I'll say no more.
Thank you, Mr. Brackett.
You're welcome, sir.
Now, gentlemen and people at home and abroad, I was speaking about narrative, and for the first time, I woke up this morning and I went to a TV station. And you know what? It kind of surprised me, but let the truth be told. When you understand and comprehend the narrative they are pushing and it can't get by you, then changes has to come. And I want to applaud Mr. Gab for what he had to say this morning. Let's go to the tape.
Those things that are becoming so prevalent, we might not want to discuss it. We might want to say, oh, negative.
Connor Cinderella Street and Queen Victoria
Avenue. Okay.
Yeah.
We're negative. We don't talk about the positive things. All of that. Let's face it.
Who said it?
No, I said that's the general feeling we hear from time to time. People would kind of cry foul in that vicinity, because there's many persons who don't want this discussion to happen, because it either shows the authorities maybe doesn't even want it, because it shows their level of ineptness, their level of incompetence, their lack of being able to curtail these things, or be having the intelligence. And we just talk about the conspiring. We talk about conspiring. These things don't happen as crime of opportunity. These might be well thought out process.
It makes you question the performance at Orange Walk Police Station, because wasn't it right in the vicinity of the police station that Joseph Budna was taken as well?
Absolutely, and the government hasn't gotten over that
Orange Walk
smear yet.
Performance. And so maybe, and these are discussions that people don't like, when you call out certain groups or individuals for not doing their job. And so maybe that is where you need to question it, not necessarily the police department on a whole, but certain jurisdictions who are responsible to monitor and secure their areas. Now, you had a purported kidnapping of Joseph Budna right near the police station. Now you have a major burglary here.
Well, not because the police don't want to call it that. That's not a kidnapping, you know.
Well, it is a
It's not purported to me. That's a kidnapping.
Yeah,
no sensible person delivered themselves
to Guatemala
to Guatemala to be locked up in jail. So no, I know I have no foolish talk about that. No, come tell me no backward story about two men me get in a car and drive across the border. That is taking me for a fool.
All right, so the kidnapping of Joseph Budna in August last year, it's been what, 5 months already?
Since
September,
August?
October, November, December, January, 5 months, yes.
Yes.
So August he was taken, and
according to the DPP, have a meaningless file, next to nothing file. I mean, the commissioner refute that as well right here on the couch. But the bottom line is that there has been no movement on that particular case. And that's a travesty to our system. That's a travesty to the trust in the justice system. And it's across the board. Both the police and the justice system has failed us, have failed Budna. I'm not here to discuss his character. The bottom line is everybody has that right.
So then you take away the name and you say has failed a citizen.
A citizen.
Has infringed on
because
the
that's
rights
how they
of
try
a
to muddy the
citizen.
water, you know. Every time you bring up this matter, they try to muddy the water with who the person is. And that is so that is the sort of deflection
Well, I understand what you're saying. I'm no fan of Joseph Budna, but at the end of the day, he is a citizen. He's a human
Belizean.
being, and he has his rights. And so when you're going to come, oh, but what about the rights of his victims? Yes, I'm all for that discussion. Let's have that discussion separate and apart from the fact that he was taken against his will.
But he has been charged for those victims. He has paid his price to society. And in the case of Guatemala, that's a Guatemala business. They were supposed to be the one to try to apprehend him. And if it's a Guatemalan people that apprehended him or that Guatemala sanctioned his apprehension, even more egregious. Even more egregious to this society.
Because it's on Belize territory.
Exactly. So either way you slice this, it doesn't look good on the authorities. And this is going to plague this administration for a continued period of time.
I think
they would
it's
not
one
be
of
able
those,
to get over this.
It's one of those situations that the government handled really, really messy and unprofessional, and they could, I don't know. It's a big mess, and you're right. It's going to be a dark cloud over this government for a very long time. They didn't handle the matter.
And anybody who thinks that Belizeans are not concerned about that issue, people joke about it, who thief Bodna and all of that, but it's a bone in their craw. It's a bone that's stuck in Belizean throat everywhere you go. That matter never dies. It always come up, either in a joke or some sort of serious discussion.
You know, while I didn't look to him as a journalist per se. It does beg the question. So when you become, as Crawford call it, interfering, you get silenced. Because in the absence of information, you have speculation. So was his kidnapping done to silence him?
Could be.
Did he find out something happening in Orange Walk or in the north that he wasn't supposed to know? And he was silenced. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of thought behind it, because the authorities are not coming forth and they're not being straight with you. Like you said, there's a lot of deflection. And I'm pretty sure they're all praying that this will just disappear and how you go?
Blow over
like Walibris. But like you said, it's something that
the Bodna situation became bigger than it should have been if it was done how every other criminal situation occur. A crime occur, they will say nobody report. There's no report of nobody no file no report, right? As a missing person or so. They'll find all kind of technical maneuvering to discuss this matter, but it stinks of a cover up.
Yeah, it does.
And that's the bottom line. It stinks of a cover up, and I think this is something that doesn't look good to me. I don't like that feeling.
Gentlemen, as I said, I have to say he spoke truth to power, and it will not go away. Mr. Wade, I go to you. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Based on that issue, we hear since its inception, since that kidnapping took place, we spoke on it at length. I applaud you, Mr. Chairman, for applauding the guy Troy and Gabon. As for me, they. You didn't even hear they mention, Chairman, one word about Johnny Briseño, how he handled the report, or the police officer, or the guy Mai, or or what was done in cabinet or Musa or no. They
Under the
are,
rug.
yes, they can't, they're too big a people for them to we see how they went about saying that. And to be honest with you, Mr. Chairman, this is the first time I ever hear that guy speaks like that on this administration.
That
Everybody know who he is, or who that radio station. Uh, uh, um,
Mr. Wade, that is exactly why I said what I said.
so
For him
so
to
Mr.
say
Yeah.
what he said and to say no one will tell him any different, that it did not happen, is
I just,
the
yes,
power of
Mr.
speech.
Chairman, thank you. I just hope that he speaks, continues speaks about it, and I just hope that he has a seat to sit on the next show, because who knows, maybe he has ruffled some feathers on that radio station. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? But and I personally have called out radio stations and the media houses in this country of Belize to say something about it, to call ills out, to start speaking truth to power, and speak the things that really matters to the regular Belizeans. But anyway, that matter, like I say, I just hope and pray that that guy Budna have some good representation, and I hope that the outside entities that will be looking at that case and be involving themselves, to do it rapidito, quickly, and hold these criminals accountable, because these people that have done that, Mr. Chairman and Leonard, they, in my book, they are criminals, right? That's how I call them. And I just hope that at some point, Mr. Chairman and Leonard and my people, both at home and abroad, the truth comes out, and they call them out one by one, name by name, and as to what degree they were involved in the kidnapping. I just hope and pray that they pay for it dearly, as to the full prescription of the law, right? And among other things that happens in this country, I just hope that at some point in time, these people that do evil and do injustice to our Belizean people, regardless of race, creed, or color, political affiliation. I just hope that at some point, they held accountable. And as for Mr. Maduro, I just hope that whatever Trump did to him is a lie. I just hope and pray that it's a lie, and and to close that off, Mr. Chairman, I call again on the leaders in the Caribbean, especially in Belize. Be very careful. All you leaders, past and present, that is involved in drugs, the cartel, the human trafficking, right? Be very careful. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. I go to you, Mr. Brackett. 2 minutes.
Nice summation, Mr. Wade. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to say here and now, I could go out on a limb, which I'm in the habit of doing every so often. And I can say right here now that before this administration finishes this term, there's a guarantee 100% shifting or changing of cabinet again. But to make it more precise in terms of the level of assurance that I have in what I'm saying, because I just don't talk because I have a pure lip on my face, as my trajectory has borne out, I can safely say that before this year is up, there will be changes in cabinet. And I'll leave it at that for right now, Mr. Chairman. I yield back,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Mr. Brackett.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to say thank you to the people who tune in, and I want to hope that this conversation tonight, that some, maybe most of our Belizean people has taken away something good from it. I hope that we here in Belizean Affairs have opened your thoughts and your eyes are seeing better.
Also, Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
please
Chairman,
don't forget to big up Jules, right? Just give him.
one minute. I was waiting for Mr. Chairman to make a small comment quickly.
Go ahead, sir.
I would like to offer. I'm trying to be magnanimous now because this is the first show for the year. You know, we have done other show for the year, but this is the first one in which we had agreed to come together as a panel and do it in general as the first main show. I would like to act in a magnanimous way and offer the Prime Minister, Mr. John Briceño, I'm calling him by name because I need for him to get the point, that I'm setting out and putting out there for him a Hobson's choice. I hope you go review the meaning of that word in our dictionary before you try to reply. If he has any intentions to reply to my challenge to him, that is that I'm offering him a Hobson's choice to prove me wrong with what I just stipulated just now about cabinet being altered between now and the end of this year. He has 12 long months to think about it and to prove me wrong. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Wade, Belizeans at home and abroad, and Mr. Prime Minister, it is not an offer or a challenge without merits. I have the goods already, so I could help him along whenever he thinks that he can prove otherwise or prove me wrong. Take up the choice. Prove me wrong. Survive the whole year without changing your cabinet. And I will apologize to you, Mr. Briceño. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. With that said, I go to you for the closing, Mr. Wade.
Thank you. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman, for such a nice show and straight to the point, right on the money, as to sequence of events and how we see it and what the Belizean people are feeling. And Leonard, it's always a pleasure, my brother, for sitting in your company.
You're welcome, Mr.
And thanks for our being together for our first show 2026. And may the good Lord continue to bless us and guide us, and so that we can have the fortitude, the strength, the courage to do many, 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 many more shows. On that note, like again, it's always a pleasure.
I want to try to be funny based on what you just said.
Yes, sir.
I applied for 200 years, but nothing was signed and sent back to me, so that I don't think anything is guaranteed.
No, it's because of...
If I could get at least 10 more years out of this existing carcass, I'd be more than happy to move on,
And again, it's always a pleasure to have Greg, our chairman for tonight, to show and tell. Always a pleasure, because that is what seals, what we say and how we say it. And I think, guys, I might be wrong. That's one of the reasons that they haven't hammered us on our heads yet. Because the proof is in. Isn't that you saying that? Isn't it didn't or it's your brother? Or no. So
we haven't started using AI yet to let them say what they don't want to say or haven't said.
So I'm glad that we have our chairman to back us up, back the show up, so that they cannot pull that switch or march us in front of Judge
Honduras,
right? Because that's their favorite judge. So, and again, Mr.
Oh,
Chairman,
man.
before I leave, I call on the Prime Minister Johnny Briceño to come to the nation and inform us where you're at with redistricting before the next election.
He promised to do it this year, sir. And as we know, it will take about 8 hours to get it done. So which of the 8 hours out, or which day, or which week, or which month, or that he's going to use during the course of this year, probably might wait till the end of December.
Yes.
And he still could do it within the 8 hours. And
So
still
that's my one of my concern for 2026, Mr. Chairman. For redistricting to happen, which is the country so needs. And to our viewers and listeners, both at home and abroad, thank you for those who will view our first show for 2026. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I have one last comment, Mr. Chairman? A short one. I pray that these gentlemen don't succeed in changing our constitution.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you to the people at home and abroad. Thanking you for tuning in to this 383rd edition of Belizean Affair. Good night to everyone, and hope the new year bring you everything your heart desires. Good night, people.
We want everybody. We want everybody. Give me some of your everybody. Give me some of that cassava. We want everybody. We want everybody. Give me some of your everybody. Give me some of that cassava.